Hello， 大家好，我是小杰。今天我们要来玩的是 Tangle Tower。好，然后我要去解这个锁。我上次有把这个锁解开吗？等一下哦，它其实这个锁啊。
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing?
我嘴巴那个还没有好，把手旁边那个东西是手，它就是。等一下哦，这个月亮就是对应对面那一个门的月亮，所以它的太阳是另外一个。等一下我要去看一下。上次这个月亮啊，我是看秘籍解出来的。这个。
Didn't we solve
We did.
这样子。
The moon tiles
But the sun symbols might be.
对不对？所以接下来的太阳是这样子放。它两个是对应的啦，其实就有答案了，我还是看秘籍。
It's locked.
I thought we were.
We are.
What's that thing by the hand?
应该这样，这样就解开了吧
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
走吧，花园嘛。哇靠，这花园也太可爱了吧
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
有个吹喇叭嘛，然后这是什么？弹鲁特曲，还戴耳机。
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones.
而且那不是耳机，是耳罩哦，耳罩。哎，很可爱呢。这个
Giant stone frog. Love it.
巨型蛇。
Yeah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
没有一根羽毛是墨迹鸟的。哦。
A little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up. A
很
little
美，
pond.
这里很美。空中
It looks
空中
really,
花
really
园。
deep. For some reason, see those metal bars around the edges too.
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Oh good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
跟造景啊，
That's
蜻
one
蜓
big dragonfly.
好大只哦，真的很大
Or
只。
one very small dragon.
啊，
Careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof.
这很多鸟欸。
Trees.
In a
On a-
garden.
In a garden.
那不是
On
鸟
a
啊，
roof.
没有任何感想。
It's so relaxed. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
It's
太
a
狭
rose
义
bush,
了。
growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very
所以
well
他的
cared
房
for.
间跟他的房间是同在一起
The
的。
roses are bright red too.
Now, aren't
那个费
roses
菲
normally
兹
that
跟
color?
那个帕皮
Exactly.
的房间是
The
连
door
通
into
的。
Poppy's room.
So only Poppy and Fitz can get into the garden.
I guess so.
哦，爱的花园。
So relaxing. I might just stay
两
here.
人之间的
Oh,
小秘
shall I
密。
go finish?
That'd be
It's the door into
one
the...
of only 2 ways to get into the
Oh,
garden.
yeah. Stone pillars, or what's left of them.
就没有任何的，就这样没了，没有任何的。
Trees.
In a garden.
In a garden.
It's so relaxing. I might just stay here. That'd be It's so I might just
Oh,
stay
shall
here.
I?
That'd be
就这样，还进来一个好有用趣的地方。哦，这好可爱，还可以这样移动。我觉得他很可疑耶，他真的是侦探吧？他这个样子啊，他这个样子，你看他这个样子，他这个样子，好像这个哦。 你们不觉得它跟这幅画很像吗？这
A
幅画很
painting.
像吗？
Maybe Freya
The
and hang on. There's a smaller
它
version.
的衣服，
photograph.
然后这个帽子这样，这衣服，然后这是头这样，然后脸这样，超像的啊！还是我多想？哦，我们去天文台好了。我们还没有找到 Poppy 老爸嘛，在这里啊，看他摇屁股。
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
天文学教授是吗？
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system?
I would look at it.
这有什么解谜？
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the
太阳
outside.
在外面。
How old is this thing?
5颗行星、太阳和月亮。要这样做，不要这样排吧。都共娘，
Nothing.
So there are two ways to rotate the planets and rotate the sun.
感觉有一点成效说。我觉得这样很好哎，这个
I guess
I
that's
think you just need to get the shadows.
这好像太这样。这样才对啦！啊，
No, that was it.
Nice work.
没拜没拜，
Did you hear that?
哈哈，
Something.
没有
There's a
看运
little
气
hatch
哦，
underneath.
我自己动脑的哦。
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
各种研究笔记和图表，金甲虫因其外壳骨骼而得名。就是哇，黄金的矿石，寿命为数年，巨大嘶声。我靠，超过95分贝超大声的，造成捕食者完全无法消化。太可靠的传言指责，招来厄运。它不是天文塔的，这是研究金色甲虫。
A spyglass to the stars. Volume
They're in
one.
very good condition.
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
直接打他脸。
What is
Ah,
it?
it's a large device.
You're not wrong.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos. Pretty.
It's
It's also daytime.
a picture frame.
With no picture.
那
It's a chart of which planet are you from,
你
Sally?
是来自什么星球？
It's a chart of which planet? It's tiny. The note.
So, even the most well-used notebook. There's something I just expected a bit more from an astronomy
Oh,
tower.
does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to?
呵呵呵
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So
他
quiet.
的房，他的头是一个房子。
So loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could the speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist
我那时候
only
是
in
查了
our
那个名
minds.
字，
Helpful.
叫做波西瓦尔，感觉有够难念的。我就说 Poppy 老爸好了，Poppy 老爸。
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family.
Oh?
And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little
Whoa.
hobby.
这么厉害，
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
一点用
The
处都
day
没有。
began with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see
好像
anything?
疯子哦。
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the Fellow Tower later that evening.
来说
I
说
was
路
at my
径吧。
telescope for the majority of the evening. But at one point, I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
他，
Quite.
那个他
I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside.
他们都讲
I
Fiona，还有不知道这
recognized
是谁，还
Fiona's
是
voice
Phoebe。
as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona.
嗯，
It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason.
我还是
I
验
quickly
血。
decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
你是大人呢，要帮个忙啊！老天啊，来跟我
A
讨论一下
listless
他。
soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with
傻
her?
小，
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes
失
from a
能家族。
dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
真的，我到现在都还没有听他讲半句话。
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
No.
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
是吗？你这脸看起来不像。
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle
记者
Tower.
菲菲，
Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge.
你的脸
I
又怎
dare
样？
say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You
是
sound
吗？
jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different
差很多
wavelengths.
吧？一个科学，一个是天文呢。
Hard to read that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
她是女的哦。
You know, I simply
我以
assumed
为她
all
男的欸。
detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
她女的。
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted.
还是她自翻错？我
but
刚刚
also
没听
highly
清楚，
intelligent.
等一下再听一下是
Those
虚
two
还是
things
利
aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over.
对，
Quite
她
a
日记有写
restless。spirit, I
我
think.
觉得
I'm
她有进去
surprised
那个
she
洞
chose to live
穴
at Tangle Tower as
那个
long as she did.
弹竖琴那边。
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about
Oh.
his mother?
那妈妈
Emily?
呀，
I've not met her. She never actually married into the
所
fellow
以她在外
family.
面生一生，然后抱
Her
进来了吧？
relationship with Flint was,
很短暂
it was short-lived.
哦。然后爸爸就不知道跑去哪里。那个谁也说他爸爸不知道跑去哪里，就没看过，好像是他还是他吧？就是他什么叔叔还是什么之类的啊？他叔叔啊？他是他堂哥吗？还是什么？还是表哥？
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
太多了，来谈谈你女儿。
Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
那个不讲话的妹妹啊，
Away. She went away.
走的是死啊，还是离家出走？他妈妈是这个的妹妹啊，是他妹妹啊。我还真不知道他是谁请来的欸。
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
去啊，走啊！
This
我
little
们又
microscope
找到一
thing?
个小的学
You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense.
原来她
If
女
you
的。
knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
那种甲虫，金色甲虫，这个对不对？
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
不知道如何使用它。
Hawkshaw doesn't know how to use it.
You sure about that?
Not
不是哦，
entirely. I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the
他
greenhouse.
没用温室的显微镜，因为这
It's
根本不
not
是
a
显微镜，
microscope at all.
这是望
All
远
of a
镜。
sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
嘿，他显微镜有什么问题？哦，那个侦探的显微镜有什么问题？这个吧，是他手持显微镜。这是他做的。我们有问他吗？我忘记了好久，离这超久的，我都快忘记了在演什么。
Fifi's eye gear was created by Fifi to use the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw stole it. Nope.
全错，全错。有理由相信实际上不是显微镜吗？属于按这个人所说用了全是属于一个望远镜，所以他
The
撒谎。
handheld microscope is a part of a
那显微镜
telescopic lens,
属于
so Hawkshaw
望
lied
远镜
about
镜
it.
头。
Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
差一个这里。这个 Vivi 吗？真的
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
所以呢，偷来的。
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective, naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy.
I wanted to be an astronomer.
哈，
Really?
真的、
I
哦？
harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe,
要拜那个为师啊。
but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're
很
way
热，
off
所以我把
track.
吹
What's
风
the deal with the
不
little
打
telescope?
电风扇往我的身上吹，不知道会不会收到音。
Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me,
啊，
I dared to consider it something of a planetary
他雇佣
wonder.
你的
I had hoped he might sign my telescope.
哦
An，extremely childish
就
indulgence,
这样，
I admit.
所以是那个教授雇佣他。
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
啊，你斜攻杀小。客户，头号嫌疑犯。不懂。认为这起窃案的头号嫌疑犯就是他。哦，他的望远镜不见了，他的那个甲虫不见了，然后他雇佣这个侦探来找他的甲虫，然后他觉得他啦，这个人呐，觉得最大的嫌疑犯偷走甲虫的人就是死掉的那一个人，佛雷亚，是吧？这样念吗？然后这个望远镜，这望远镜是他小时候的玩具哦，还是怎样？反正就是它不是一个显微镜，它是望远镜。这样。 侦探受雇人。
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
这样，没有任何。来，我们去找他来谈谈你爸爸。为什么他的音乐那么可怕？说什么你老爸？
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether.
早知道就不来问
slowly
他。
fraying, floating, helpless from the worst
哎呦，
of jealous hunger,
自私、
selfish
嫉妒。
thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
讲跟没讲一样。讲跟没讲一样，找 Vivi 啊。
Name, Percival Pointer.
17岁。
Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
你跟他是不是有过节啊？哈，一定有的，一定有的。我不去找他老婆啦，这个的老婆、
You get a
啊，
good view of the lake from here.
找他根本没屁用，根本不会讲话。
Percival Pointer.
善良的老家
Good old. So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic,
那
really.
没什么钱
And。how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
哎，这两个我都没问哦。
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything.
脑袋跟洋葱一
Brain
样。
like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
我觉得你女儿喜欢他哎。
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear,
对啊，
you know,
他也穿红色斗篷
red，capes
他觉得
of
他
a sort.
他跟他很
Has she
熟
questioned you
悉。
yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly, Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
他其实我们现在找他，我们就知道他怎
Quite
样。
sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
看他自信满满的样子。没有任何有用消息。我们还没有找那个像天使的那个，这个啊鸟人，好多小鸟。
They're bird cages. But the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Bird diagrams.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Bird
They're
diagrams.
beautiful. Someone. Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
这里啊，
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh. An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
羽毛跟那个很像，就我们在那捡到的。这个啊，这个啊，同的。
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
Oh, just beautiful. What
大
is
鸟
it?
人，
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
我看一下水果，我把它拍下，我有把它画下来。他是这边的人，哎，等一下，为什么在族谱里面没有看到他？我是少漏写了他，是不是？是我没看到他哎，没有在族谱里面。嗯？
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious.
Sure.
他应该是念自己的名字。等一下。
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
她是不是叫潘朵拉？本名啊？她是不是她的妹妹啊？这个的妹妹啊？是吗？他们都同一个家族而已。
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
等一下，我还问完。
20-something, Aquarius,
随便说。
love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
那他跟那个
And have you
谁
studied the
，B
birds
B
here
的
at
老妈
Tangle
应该是好
Tower?
朋友吧？
But of course, where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him. Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz.
Fitz
He's
是他的未
not
婚夫。
really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz Fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes
让
on
我
between our two
很意外
families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether. I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Oh.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. You could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down at the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower. Did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it. Isn't he strapping?
He is vague.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. I mean, you don't need to.
No. It's I'm comfortable with it.
他们3个都是聪明人，这3个，这个，是吧？
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
他做人还是蛮成功的。做人蛮成功。
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit
算
friends.
是，
She's
是好朋友。
one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little
也
too
是啊，
loud for
叽
her.
里吧啦一直讲
I。can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it. She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
有知道啊。
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
我不想问这个耶，这很多哎。
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara
这
has
形
the
容的
best sense of
这
rhythm.
他是看不出来
Glad
啊
we。cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? It's just my hat. It doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
它是帽子哦，还有鸟。喂，
There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
有回答跟没回答一样。
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
那我们要到这边回顾。
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That
什
too.
么？然后有黑画面了，不会坏掉吧？蛋姐，蛋姐，
Fitz and I
Oh,
were up
oh,
in the
at the
moonlight
end.
garden most of the afternoon, and we heard this sound. It lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the Fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
那欧蕾已经
I
拿走了。
recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
啊，哈皮离开了一会儿，回来的时候还带了。哦。
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
对啊，很一
They
致。
don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
那边搜查完了，其他房间看看。哇，家好多小鸟哦。
Looks like nature invited
我
itself
喜欢
in.
这房间，这样有点楼中楼感觉。
Rude.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches.
因为都用
What if a
完。
real bird wanted to use it?
这该不会要配色吧？我超不会的，我早就忘记了。黄色配什么？这个，这样，然后这样。
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are
某种逻
arranged.
辑。
Something to do with those white lines.
这样是吗？这样混合不就变这个吗？变淡的、啊。还是在看眼睛？
Nothing.
I think the birds are...
I guess
It's a
that's
family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line.
这是族谱，颜色和眼睛的组合一代代传承下来。
You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
从顶部的蓝色、黄色开始的。这如果两个合在一起是什么颜色啊？绿色。两个眼睛变这个眼睛。他要配这样吗？不是吧？
I guess that's
It's a family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
I guess that's
It's a family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow.
I guess
It's a
that's
family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow.
还是他配眯眼，这样
I guess
It's
that's
a family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow.
很接近了，我感觉很接近了，这样，这样，
I guess
It's a
that's
family.
Yeah.
You need to start with blue.
这样，这样。
I guess
It's a
that's
family. You'll need to start with blue. and yellow.
不是哦，等一下，
I'll
等
do
一
this
下，
later. That's some.
There's something weird that just feels out of place.
这应该他未婚夫送他的吧？
Ever get the feeling you're
The
being?
mannequins don't have eyes.
That's not that bed. It's like something from.
Does it feel warm over here? Or is
No, you're right.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
来自强。哦，
That bed. It's like.
Does it feel
No,
it's not coming from the bed?
a little tea set.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
That might be the most pointless thing.
It's a
Are
birdhouse.
those real birds?
等一下，我想去看一下左。
What
I
is?
think it's a family.
这个应该是那个鸟人吧？
Penelope Pointer. We met her. She is one of the
对
suspects.
啊，那个鸟人。然后这个是 Poppy 嘛？
Poppy Pointer. We met her. She is one of the
然后
suspects.
这是 Poppy 老爸。
Percival Pointer.
Professor Percival. We met him. He's one of the suspects.
然后再来是这个
Fiona Fellow.
Fifi，
We met her. She's one of
这
the
是
suspects.
Fifi。 然后菲菲老妈
Flora Remington.
We met her. She's one of the suspects.
菲菲老爸，
Felix Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the suspects.
然后再来是死掉的
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
就大概这样，里面人大概都在这上面，就没有了。哦，还有费兹，
Fitz Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the suspects.
就这样咯。看颜色吗？看不出来有什么差别。
It's a
Are
birdhouse.
those?
蓝色和黄色组成。难为什么有两个嘴巴弄错了？
A few moments later.
这样吗？这样。它是这样子。其实我那时候猜就大概这样子啊，我到底是哪里做错了？这样吧。
No, that was it.
啊，我这个不是之前试过吗？是没有试到是不是？我是虚了。
Nice work.
啊，差一点点，我搞不大就过了。
Did the door open? What's in there?
一张撕碎的纸揉成我潦草机，现在我要对付它。嗯？是不是跟这个一样啊？这里。
It's a rose bush. Grown apart from a couple of loose petals on one side.
The roses are bright red.
Aren't roses normal?
Exactly.
你就问他，他房间的东西。
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business. Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
Huh.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
先不要问他好了啦。
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something.
Let's ask her about it.
好，等一下，我先找 Vivi， 我很喜欢找他，问他一些就是他知道这些。
Name: Penelope Pointer. Age: 27. Profession: ornithologist. Likes: birds. Dislikes: insects. Notes: Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her. Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
对啊，
Yeah. You
为什么？
could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh. You wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
找他，不是他，不是他，我找他一下哦。这个。
Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
我想还没讲一样。这个。
Those petals.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Right.
一定有什么破解。找他。有个成就可是没看清楚。我想先问一下他。
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good. Those petals, they,
What?
They're red. A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
我觉得那是你送他的我一直都这么认为。
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
怎么可能真的从虫上面跑出来？我帮我按掉。
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen
蹑手蹑脚的
Pointer Tower.
上塔上，而且还拿
a
着一把
knife.
刀，乱
That's
讲。
not right. I
有
don't
吗
go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much.
哦，对啊，
But
玉不
yeah,
喜欢他
she。was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
这字变好大哦。我一直都相信 BB。
Fifi did
拿着
see
别的东西
Fitz,
吧。
but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
拿大灯误认为是刀，羽毛。
That's not it.
小镜头。
That's not it.
个人盆栽啊，这个。
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
哦。是组合一部分，组合还包括用来买什么？因为这是他跟他，这个铲子在哪捡到了？是在Poppy的房间吗？我说在哪里？
The potted fruit
这样。
was used to bury an ornate
不
trowel
是啊，我在
in
写
the
什么？
garden. Nope.
都 都不对。狒狒是用来照料、照顾。是组合的一部分，组合还包括这个两个同样的。
A potted flower is part of a matching set with the potted fruit in the garden. That's not right.
都不对。
The potted fruit is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in the greenhouse. That's not right either.
哎，这个对了哎，这两个对，可是这个错。这朵花不是在他房间，这朵花是在Penny的房间，用来照顾他。这个哦，Penny 是 PP 是 Penny 哦，贝兹是他。是 Poppy 哦，是吗？这个铲子是他跟他之间的名字吧 ？PP 跟 FF。
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes?
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
这个吧，哎，这个吧。
Let's take a closer look at these.
都是蓝色图啊。这里。这个花，这盆花是在Penny房间里的，吻合这个温室里的这个花。
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
你就承认那是你送不就好，这有什么好奇怪？
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil, just trying to keep it alive.
就这样，这有什么好？你干嘛好隐瞒？就说你去他房间换土，浇浇水，不就好了吗？
So, yeah, we found this.
That's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to.
红色花瓣是属于谁的？
That's not right.
这里红色花瓣证据。我有找到吗？这里对子的。
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
为什么 Penny 决定去 屋顶花园，那是怎么去的？怎么去的？哇靠！分散他们注意力，这两个。
Pointer's telescope was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and distract them. Nope.
No. 哦，什么东西，然后用来监视，然后这两个这样，并从他们那里偷证据，因为他们在策划谋杀，并从那里偷钱，偷钱，这谋杀用来监视，什么东西用来监视？那个鸟这么厉害，他还跟他暴风这样。
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz because they were planning a murder. Almost. Maybe just change.
还真的哎，哇，这鸟很厉害。
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
就那个羽毛啊，这个啊。
Let's take a closer look at these.
在那个舌头上面吗？这根黄色羽毛来自于当时他去。
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little...
Janet!
I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
你真的不喜欢他，你就要直接讲了吗？在那边不当不塞了。还有谁没问啊？这个吧，我是还没有抓到他什么小辫子之类的嘛。我还没有抓他的小辫子，你知道？我是有什么都没有找到，还是没有问的？诶，他找到了吗？他找到了。所以这里空格是没有东西的。问他一些事情啊。
What's this? It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see? It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
Oh.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
有什么要解释的吗？
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
他想要否认到底是不是
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fish man.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
这个应该是还有东西吧？我是没找到，是不是？卡关，周末卡关了。
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. I can't remember exactly.
Oh.
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective.
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they like her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
奇怪，好像很不熟哎，这家族的都很奇怪。
We found these up in the rooftop
莫名
garden.
其妙。
Do you know how long they've been there?
No, it could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
卡关是不是？我都很懒得一个一个问，我觉得有一些人家没有观点。你看这么多我都没问，这个
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Oh.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my Fitz, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
哦，是哦，是吗？你刚刚的言语。
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be
面貌跟他一
excited
样。
about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable hawkshot woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me.
很鲁莽，
Accused me of being, what was it?
肤浅
A shallow sensationalist. Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
哦，
How terrible.
You
Well-
recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
他脸是多吓死啊！
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of
Mama
it belonging
phone.
to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo.
他是学海盗讲话。
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The
墨迹
ink
鸟
dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one.
好啊，
The
这种
very last.
Oh.
不哭。
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least.
2年。
Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
这个
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
他们都不讲。
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
都要发飙了。
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell
不
them.
行吧？
But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Lovely.
他真的很讨厌滑梯的感觉。
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. I don't know what that is.
我都快问一遍，甚至4个。
Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian.
奇
Had
怪，
her
裂开都不会，
priorities.
颜料都不会跑出来。
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some
Taka.
kind.
诺基鸟。
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
没了。这样。
My little
There's nothing written in the book. I don't like. I do, but wait. The bird about the birds. Oh, it totally is. Check out that. Wow, judgmental. There's a letter P carved. There's a letter P carved.
我们刚刚是哪边？哦，我果然没有搜查干净。啊
A bell jar.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
Other than bells, you mean?
There's something kinda. I just expected a bit more from it.
Does it not compare to all the... This tiny little notebook.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start a flame.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos. What is it?
It's a large device.
You're not wrong.
Every astronomy tower needs
I want to try.
啊，它可以看到哎。
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can just about see the gramophone.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the...
Maybe it's glued down.
啊，分享出来。
Is that
Is
there another room above Flora's room?
啊，还有另一个房间吗？
We should check that next time we're over there.
对耶。
I can see the doorway. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges. The rooftop garden is right. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
对啊，结果他看到对面。
I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits.
难怪 Vivi 那时候说他的职业是舞，然后我们就说，他不是天文学家吗？哦，可以算
Let's
是吧。
ask him about it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be
可疑的老家伙，我怀疑是你杀的。
Have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
你试图用自己的名字？啊，不是吧？你发现一颗陨石，你并非真的对。
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you
你是
possibly
个偷窥
mean
狂
by that?！
这个老不休的，
In a
你是
slightly
不是对人家老婆有兴
different
趣？
field of research.
到底在研究什么？这个啊，虫虫啊。
I don't have time
打他
for
一巴掌。
tiny,
我
insignificant
拿起来，我还不
insects.
手打的小
My
快
studies
虫。
focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
听他狡辩，
Right.
听他手舞足
That's
蹈。
why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
真的用望远镜进行天文研究吗？犯罪现场，他用望远镜，实际是在看犯罪现场。因为啊，可能一只鸟。
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you
No.
spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand.
因为它很
Freya
有
was
很
always sneaking
很值
around.
钱。
Both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room,
是吗？你刚才
Flora
微
was
笑一下。
already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
躺在
This changes your
躺在
statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you
所以
left your
Fifi 老
tower in
妈
the
那
first
时候是
place.
躺在
Right.
窗台上这样。
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
对，你看还有个楼上。
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed.
这是什么？
This wasn't here before.
对啊，
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a...
There's a note stuck to the back.
那
What
原
does
本
it
没有
say?
这个啊。谁放的？
Grimoire?
这是我的新朋友，他喜欢音乐，简单循环，撼动他的灵魂。祝你们两位好运。弗雷亚，你戏啊吗？
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
这样一样
It's
是
a perfect match.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
啊，
Let's keep
死
this
的
to
冤子嘛。
ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
什么？谁举了？未完的事物。好啦，今天先到这里啊。看一下哦，我们要在哪里做个结束？看一下，就这里就好了啊。好啦，今天就先到这里啦。玩久嘞，哦，我们终于有一点头绪了。我们全部都问完一遍了。他其实根本就不是天文学家，他根本是偷窥狂。然后他是费兹的未婚妻，然后他讨厌Poppy。朋友，他跟他可能很要好吧？没有啦，他想太多了，他们两个只是朋友而已啦。可是我觉得他喜欢费兹所以他还变成这样，密码变得跟他一样，染头发染成这样紫色这样。然后这个人这个妈妈真的很奇怪，可怜的是他，一个才华洋溢的女孩就这样没了。对啊。好，那今天就先到这里。那下一次应该就是下次的话，我们先去看一下这个好了。不要，下一次我们现在搞清楚这个问号，然后我们要上去调查一下房间怎么样，因为它竟然还有个密室。好，那喜欢我影片的朋友呢，记得帮我点击喜欢以及订阅。那我们下次见喽，拜拜。